Hello and welcome to Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today. Dad, happy Thanksgiving week.
Well, thank you. Same to you.
And happy Egg Bowl week.
It happens every year.
It does, for better or worse. This year I'm hoping it's for better. Two teams with so much on the line and such a great such a great rivalry, such great history, and something crazy is going to happen.
Well, something already has happened crazy this year. I mean, I've never seen a scenario like this in my life.
Yep. It's pretty wild. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. It's our main topic of the day. You're going to spend a little bit of time on the high school football playoffs later, but all eyes are on Starkville this week for the Egg Bowl. So let's start by setting the table a little bit.
Fine.
All right. What's on the line for Ole Miss in this game?
Everything.
The
playoffs.
A trip to the first ever trip to the college football playoffs.
A chance even to possibly have a bye.
A chance to finish 11-1. If you somehow got help from Texas and Auburn, a chance to play for an SEC championship.
The most victories in a regular season in Ole Miss history.
Yep. I mean, it's all there for them. Now, what's on the line for State?
A bowl game.
Getting to a bowl game. Beating Ole Miss in the penultimate game.
The most delicious, one of the most delicious victories in Mississippi State history, should it happen.
Yeah. Finish the regular season on a high note, get to a bowl game, give yourself a little bit of momentum going into the offseason with.
I mean, if Tyler State can't go to the playoffs, the very next best thing.
It's not just 1 and 2. It's not 1 and 2. It's 1 and 1A is what it is.
Yeah.
Keeping Ole Miss from going.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ole Miss is a favorite. I believe it was, 7?
I think it was 8.5 to begin with.
Down to 7 now.
Yeah, I think all that is just because of the circumstances surrounding it.
There's a lot going on there, and we're going to get to that.
You think?
Give me the scenario in which Ole Miss wins the game.
They're just better. They're a better team. I mean, that's how Ole Miss wins the game. If they can somehow block out all the distractions and just play their game, they win the game. Avoid turnovers. Don't give up any plays in the kicking game. The better team wins when those two things happen.
Right. I would say taking the crowd out of it early would probably not hurt. Although, I mean, it's a day game on Friday after Thanksgiving. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I would think that setting the tone early would certainly help.
Yeah, keeping the cowbells out of the game. Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. How can State win?
The way that underdogs always win is to play their best, Ole Miss not play its best, win the turnover battle, and have a play or two in the kicking game.
I was going to say get a break or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've been close, very close in 3 of their losses.
To some good teams. Georgia and Texas.
Georgia and Texas.
Not Georgia, but Texas.
No, Georgia was
not a close game.
It was a mauling.
Texas.
It was like a defenseless animal that fell into the lion cage at the zoo. But the Texas game was close. The Florida game was very close. They could have won that.
I'm still thinking about the analogy of the somebody that fell in the lion.
It was like an actual bulldog that fell into a lion's cage is what happened.
Yeah, and it didn't have any teeth.
No, it wouldn't have mattered. I think State can actually win the game. I honestly thought the initial line was too high. I think this game is going to be closer than that. I think they could actually. Let me ask you this: who will win?
I don't see how you could just pick State. I mean, they're just. If you look at the two teams and the seasons they've had, there's one team that's clearly better than the other team.
Well, there's one of them that absolutely knows how to win a close game.
Yeah. And so I can't pick State to win the game, but I can see how it would happen because I've seen it happen so many times before.
All right, let's get to the main event here. You wrote a column this week about Lane Kiffin and about basically that, use that as a jumping off point to talk about the state of college football, which is a subject we talked about here last week.
Yeah, seems like we talk about it almost every week.
But, and I thought one of the points you made in the story was, as we were talking about last week, the loyalty is not really there anymore for coaches or players, and that you don't have to like it. You can accept it without liking it.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like you're having a hard time accepting it.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that a coach who's probably going to finish with 11 wins, go to the playoffs for the first time ever, is seriously thinking about not doing it.
So how is this going to play out? The game is on Friday during the day, and so the game will be over at 3:00.
Yeah.
Are we just going to be sitting on pins and needles to hear what happens with Lane Kiffin until Saturday?
That's what they put out earlier this week, what Keith Carter put out. We will have know the direction of our program on Saturday.
Do you think that is a deadline that he has given to Kiffin, or do you think that is they're planning some kind of announcement? Is Ole Miss planning an announcement?
Who knows, Tyler? I don't know. I wish I knew. I mean, to me, everything points to him leaving. If he knew he was going to stay, he'd already made that announcement.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so. That's what leads me to believe that maybe he's given him a deadline, so to speak.
Well, if he hadn't, he should have.
But LSU, they're not going to wait till the end of the playoff to hire a coach.
No. Nor is Florida.
Well, I don't think, I'm honestly, between you, me, and all of our listeners, I don't think Florida's in the running. I think it's Baton Rouge or bust. Baton Rouge or stay, which is not a bust. That would be a fantastic win for both him and Ole Miss, and Ole Miss fans everywhere. I don't think, and let me ask you this, with all the hand-wringing, because I know you quoted a longtime fan in your column.
Well, I've talked to many longtime Ole Miss fans.
Who are tired of the getting jerked around.
Yeah.
But these folks would not be mad if he came back.
Most of them would not be mad if he came back. He has alienated a few to the point where they don't care.
Right. One more question for you on this while we're at it. Is there another coach out there that can raise Ole Miss to new levels at this point?
Well, that was part of what I was trying to say in that column, and I don't know if I said it very well or not, but I mean, it's a damn good job. I mean, you're talking about a salary pool for assistants that is right there with everybody in the country. You're talking about an NIL package that is right there with anybody in the country. You're talking about a program where you've won 49 games in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Soon to be 50 if they win
50
Friday.
50 if they win Friday. I mean, it's a hell of a job. And there's going to be a lot of, if it opens, there's going to be a lot of coaches, good ones, that want that job. And, yeah, there are other coaches that could do this.
You think so?
I do.
I think if they want continued success immediately, they probably going to have to find a way to retain him. That's my take. There are other coaches that would probably be good but I mean, right now the way he's working the portal, and I don't know. It seems like it's a fun place to play, and maybe a fun guy to play for. Let's talk about somebody who said he does not want to play for Lane Kiffin. That's Knox Kiffin, who says he'd like to play. He doesn't want to play for his dad. Knox is a sophomore at Oxford, and on Friday night, he completed 12 of his 20 passes for 202 yards and a touchdown, ran for 76 yards and another touchdown to send Oxford to the North State Championship. In a win over Horn Lake, they're going to face our old buddy Ty Harden and the Tupelo Golden Wave in the North State Championship. That game happening Friday night after the Egg Bowl. So quick turnaround. I'm guessing that Kiffin will probably go straight from the press conference towards Tupelo.
I'm sure he'll be there that night. I mean, I would be if you were playing for the state championship.
Well, not for North State, but yeah. Same difference.
Yeah.
This might as well be their state championship because they win it. They're going to get the winner of Brandon and Gulfport, and I'm just not sure the South is going to produce a champion that can win that big game. So, yeah, man, It's going to be a wild Friday for the Kiffin family, and Friday and Saturday.
Well, and then there's Saturday when some kind of announcement is supposed to happen.
Of some kind.
Yeah.
What's that morning going to be like, Saturday morning for Ole Miss fans?
I don't know. Christmas?
Might I suggest
it'll either be Christmas or
Halloween? No, I would suggest a Bloody Mary maybe to start things out. Maybe a couple mimosas, just
and have some whiskey ready for
in case.
Yeah,
just in case. Man, what a wild weekend it's going to be.
I mean, this is just incredible.
Are you not entertained? That's what I'm saying. It's entertaining as hell. It's like a reality TV show about my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things, I should say. So yeah, it's going to be fun. College football is wild, and I agree. As you pointed out, I think you quoted Saban in the column as well. They have got, and I'm paraphrasing here, but they've got to find a way to make it so we're not doing all of this at the same time. We cannot be like, there's got to be an off-season period for coaches just like there is for players, right? They got to have a window.
Absolutely.
And it's got to be after the playoff.
There's so much wrong with the system now that, I would be fine with just go ahead and somebody, I don't know who it would be, just hire Saban as the commissioner of college football and say, fix it.
Yeah. Well, he might be able to do it. And he might be able to develop a tree of other fixers who he trained who can fix it at other places for years down the road.
Yeah.
The Saban fixing tree.
Yeah. And all these fixers will be making $10 million a year.
Within a decade, they'll each be making $10 million a year. And turning down reportedly $12 to $13.5 million from somebody. It's all crazy. All right, Dad, let's talk about the rest of these matchups in the high school semifinals, because some of these are pretty good. As I mentioned, Brandon and Gulfport are going to square off in the South. Brandon, a remarkable story, 7-5.
We've known all along
that they had talent was there.
That they had some players.
They had their coach resign, after like 3-4 games. Then last weekend on Friday night, the kicker, Jace Eldridge, he was 3 for 3 on field goals, hit 27, 34, 35. He was 2 for 2 on extra points. Give him a tryout for the Saints. They beat Oak Grove 30-27, to punch their ticket. They're facing a Gulfport team that's out to prove that Region 4 is not dead in the water forever, that they can get back to a state championship. So that's going to be a good one. And whoever, I don't hold out much hope for Knox Kiffin and the Chargers against Tupelo, but you never know. Chris Cutcliffe's about as good as there is in the business. So
he's really good.
They'll find a way.
And by the way, that would be a factor in my decision if I was Lane Kiffin. You got your son, who's
a sophomore starting quarterback
with a coach that is as good as there is in high school football in Mississippi.
What you think they don't got high school football in Baton Rouge?
Well, they might not have another Chris Cutcliffe down there. I don't know.
Probably not. In Class 6A, Ridgeland will play at Warren Central for the North State Championship. And in South State, it will be Picayune and Rick Cleveland's Hattiesburg Fighting Tigers.
Class of 7-0, buddy.
Yeah, well, they're playing Picayune in South State, so let's hope they can put up some points. Both those teams are 10-2. They're pretty tough. In Class 5A, Holmes County is the sacrificial lamb we will send to West Point this weekend. West Point, of course, undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state. Holmes County, which finished 10-3, or they're 10-3 now. They're headed up there to, I would give them a 2% chance of winning that football game.
Yeah. Better get some turnovers.
Yep, got to, and then hold the ball.
And then West Point doesn't. They don't do much that creates turnover. They just run the ball at you and run the ball at you and run the ball at you and beat you down and then step on you.
Yeah, and then once a game pop you for a 70-yard touchdown pass that you were not prepared for because they ran it on the previous 40 plays. All right, and South in 5A, that's Laurel at Brookhaven. Laurel, another good story. They're 6-6. I had left them for dead in the water when they kept getting their brains beat in early in the season. But apparently that tough schedule prepared them for this playoff run, and they are at Brookhaven, who's 10-2 on Friday night. In Class 4A, stop me if you heard this before, but Louisville is hosting Kosciuszko in the North State Championship. Kosciuszko, of course, 12-1. Louisville 10-2, but they're at home and should be considered a favorite to get back to the state championship for the umpteenth millionth time in a row. And South State is Poplarville, this may be the game of the week here. Poplarville at Columbia. Poplarville 8-4, Columbia 13-0. But Poplarville, in case you have not heard, and we've talked about him on this space, but they have got a running back named Ty Keys,
a junior running back.
Earlier this year, we reported because he had a game where he ran for 515
yards
and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
8 touchdowns. I'm sorry, I shortchanged him one. Well, this past weekend in a 55-20 quarterfinal win over Macomb, he had 436 yards and 7 touchdowns on 22 carries.
So that's 2 games, almost 1,000 yards right there.
His numbers are outrageous. I would be surprised if he's not coming up on some kind of record, although maybe the only lesson I took from journalism classes was never say something is a record and never say something's never happened before. In Class 3A, some familiar faces. Noxubee County is at Winona, and South State Seminary is at Raleigh, who's back in the title game or back in the hunt for one. Class 2A is Kemper County at East Webster. South State is Mize at Heidelberg. And in Class 1A, your favorite, our old friends from Biggersville are back in North State. They're hosting Calhoun City, which is 2 1A powerhouses in the North. And in South State, and this is so funny, it's Taylorsville at Hollandale Simmons. But here's the thing about Simmons is this is every year. I would get this call from Andrew Abity, who's covering teams in the Pine Belt, and he would have a 1A school. It would either be Lumberton or Sacred Heart or something like that. And he would call and he'd say, "What do you know about this Simmons team?" And I would say, absolutely nothing, and neither does anybody else. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're going to have 1 or 2 absolute dudes. Yeah. So Simmons is undefeated. They're hosting Taylorsville and South State in 1A. Looks like we have a potential for some pretty good matchups.
Every year in the state championship game, when they're in it, which is almost every year, they run out on the field for the 1A state championship, and they look like a 4A team.
You're talking about Simmons?
Yeah.
Man, for years there, they looked like one, and they kept winning it every year. But like for me, it was like, you would know the names of like their leading rusher and stuff, but like you wouldn't get a roster until like hours before the game. Yeah. I mean, it's just in a pocket of the state where there is no media coverage at all. And, it's not like they got a website.
Yeah.
So
they just have athletes.
That's right. They do. They may not have a website, but they definitely have some athletes. Dad, one more thing I want to get to before we talk about what we're grateful for this Thanksgiving. The Southern Miss Golden Eagles, because you went to Mobile this past weekend. I'm starting to think you're the problem. Because that's 2 in a row you've gone to.
I've seen them play in person 3 times this year, and they're 0-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the JSU game?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go. So Rick will stay away. He's promised to stay away this weekend as Southern Miss plays Troy. The Golden Eagles need to win, to get into the conference championship game. But as Charles Huff said after the game the other day, I saw the clip, they stink right now.
Well, the defense is they were missing their best defensive player last week, and their best offensive player was limping around all over the field.
They're throwing for 400 yards.
Yeah, but can't run. That's part of his game. I think they'll get it back together and win this game, but who knows? I don't even know what the spread is. Are they favored or?
Well, they're a 6.5 point favorite. Of course, you get basically 3 for being at home, so it's pretty close.
Troy hadn't been playing very well either.
No, they're 7-4 as well. But this is winner to the championship game.
Yeah, to probably be a big underdog
against James Madison.
Yeah, who's really good. I mean, what they've lost.
You're right. We may be in the worst timeline of college football. Yeah. James Madison is going to be the heavy favorite in the Sun Belt Championship.
Well, James Madison's been really good at that level here the last few years. Hell, the coach that's doing everything in Indiana right now was there.
Yeah. You think they're that good, Indiana?
Well, I think they're pretty salty.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think their offense is pretty good. I just looking at the schedule, I just want to see them. I guess we're going to see them play Ohio State in the Big 22 championship or whatever they got. How many teams they have in that conference now?
18, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Dad. Before we get out of here, I want to know what you're thankful for.
What am I thankful for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful.
You had to know this question was coming. I mean, it's
first thing that comes to mind is family.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thankful for. Family.
You want to expand on that?
Well,
you can mention people individually.
Well, I have a lovely wife. I have a daughter and a son who I'm very proud of. Yeah,
there we go.
Family comes to mind first.
I got you.
I'm also thankful for to work at Mississippi Today.
Yeah,
which is a news organization that I believe in, and
maybe the best job you've ever had.
It's a great job. I'm happy about it.
Good.
Thankful for it.
Well, thankful for it. There you go. I'm probably most thankful for friends and family as well. I'm grateful for, the support that, people show me, and thankful for, the opportunity to do this show with you. And I'm also thankful for Mickey Loomis, who gives me a reason to log into social media every day so that I can read about all the Saints and Pelicans, the great news coming out of New Orleans and my favorite teams for the Saints and Pelicans. I just feel like life wouldn't be as rich without Mickey Loomis making these decisions that cause these teams to be, they set us up to be this good. I'm really grateful that he hasn't cut Blake Grupe yet, the worst kicker in the NFL.
That's coming.
Who's obviously, let me get through my screen. He's obviously not one of the best 32 kickers in the league or the best 32 kickers on the planet. There's got to be somebody out there. And the fact that he hasn't, as of we're recording this on Tuesday morning, he might well prove me wrong later. But it just goes to prove what a great GM Mickey Loomis is, and how grateful I am for him this Thanksgiving season. And that's my screen.
Okay.
The first half of that was for real, though. I do appreciate my family.
How long ago was that Super Bowl victory?
100 years, buddy. 100 years. I'll tell you this, it was probably 18 quarterbacks ago.
Yeah. A few place kickers ago, too.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to end this show on a high note. We're not going to talk about the Saints. Everybody have a safe Thanksgiving holiday out there. If you're traveling, stay safe. If you're going to the Egg Bowl, looks like it might be a little chilly, so bundle up. And buckle up for Saturday, and we'll talk about it all next week.